Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs Podcast. We're on season 5, episode number 47. Andy, tonight is the Songs edition where we do an album review and talk music, concerts, tours, and the like.
We
Now, this is the
wrap up
last Thursday in
September
September.
soundtrack.
September soundtracks, our first annual, the month of September, we did all soundtracks. And I'm looking forward to next year. Every September, we're going to do every Thursday episode soundtracks.
And
For the ones you've been doing,
throughout the year, I might throw in an occasional Saturday soundtrack special edition, but
a special edition. But these we covered all from, I believe, the 80s, right?
these are all 80s, yes.
All 80s.
We started
All right.
with the Blues Brothers. The first week was Blues Brothers. If you go back in the archives, see that one. Did Purple Rain. In fact, today is the anniversary of the song Purple Rain being number 1, so
Okay.
go back, check that. Last week was Top Gun. Learned lots of stuff on that one. Holy cow. We can name drop a lot of different bands from that
It's
one.
good. It's good stuff.
Not in it that should have been, and vice versa.
There's lots involved that were, asked to do a song on the soundtrack and then declined or said no, or got the lawyers involved and said, hey, let's try to work this other deal. And no, we're good. So now we're on the last one. So should I bring it up?
Yeah, go ahead. Dirty Dancing tonight. This one was, not as much controversy on who was on this album and compared to the others. Everybody kind of agreed on this. I think they all learned because it was a couple years later in '87.
Okay.
Officially, Dirty Dancing, original soundtrack from the motion picture. 1987 was released August 4th on RCA Records. Album went on to sell 32 million copies worldwide and one of the best-selling albums of all time. In the United States, the album spent 18 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard 200 chart and had been certified 14 times platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America with shipments of at least 3.25 million copies. This is the all-time best-selling album in Germany at 3.25 million copies.
Oh, interesting.
Now, a lot of these songs, I went through this list, I heard all these songs, I remembered them from 1987, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was on that soundtrack. Oh yeah, that was on that soundtrack. So you're going to hear these two going, well, no wonder the album did so well. These were all great songs of that time. No wonder it was in the top spot forever. So here we go. Track listings from the original 1987 edition. I Had the Time of My Life by Bill Medley and Jennifer Warnes. Be My Baby by the Ronettes. She's Like the Wind by Patrick Swayze, which I'm sorry, that's actually a really good song.
Okay.
I really do like that song. Hungry Eyes by Eric Carmen. Worst perm I've ever seen in my life.
Well, we're not reviewing perms here, Andy.
Well, we do talk about the flow for the sports talk stuff. Everything.
Yes, that's
bring
fair.
This in. I'm sorry,
that's
Eric Carmen. That video, you got some really horrible hair. Stay by Morris Williams and the Zodiacs. Yes by Mary Clayton. You Don't Know Me by the Blow Monkeys. Hey Baby by Bruce Chanel. Overload by Alfie. Love is Strange by Mickey and Sylvia. Where Are You Tonight by Tom Johnston. And In the Still of the Night by the Five Satans. Not In the Still of the Night by Whitesnake. Not that.
No
one.
Whitesnake. No David Coverdale in this.
But yeah, just go back. That She's Like the Wind by Patrick Swayze is a really good song. I just really appreciate that one. I like that one. They add other ones, the 20th anniversary edition. We're not going to get into that. Just a few things about this movie and the movie review part of it. I'll give a little movie review part here too. You watch the movie as a high schooler when it first came out in 87. You watch it again as a parent later on. It's two different movies. You're seeing it with two different eyes.
Okay.
Because you're always in favor of their kids were rebels, rah, rah, rah. Then you see it from the dad's point of view later on, you're like, yeah. One thing that was noted in the movie, her name is Baby. Everybody called her Baby. She didn't have a name. Patrick Swayze is really a good dancer. That's really his dance moves in that. One thing I know I've posted it on our social media in the past. The end scene where they're all doing their big dance, Patrick Swayze, and she comes running at him from the stage and he lifts her up, all that stuff. Someone has taken that scene and switch the music and put the theme song to the Muppet Show in there. And it works. So look up Dirty Dancing Muppet Show. You'll see it on YouTube. It's a chuckle.
Okay, I did not know that. I'll look it up immediately following this show. That's
your
that's
homework.
my interest right there.
Yeah, but a good soundtrack, pretty basic. The songs were all right there. That genre, they played around the different fields a little bit. I enjoyed all the songs. They're all good sing-along songs when you're in the car. It helps the time go by as you're driving, which I kind of liked about this one too. It's a good car driving one, as we've used before.
Okay.
Not outside by the fire type music, but in the car. If you're taking that drive up to Duluth or something like that, or Fargo for a Bison game, and
Perfect.
you only kill up 45 minutes, this is a good album to have on for it. That's it, man. Pretty cut and dry on this one. It kind of explains itself, sells itself. Very good. Very clean album.
So was there, you had mentioned special or edition or deluxe?
Yeah, they did like a 20th
song?
anniversary. They didn't add any songs, just kind of re-released it, cleaned up some of the songs with modern technology,
And it makes sense. It does that well, even by spiffing it up and putting a new little label on it, 20th anniversary edition. It's going to sell. It's going to work.
Yeah.
How many copies? Did you say 32 million worldwide?
What was the number here? It said it was 14 times platinum, 32 million worldwide.
That was
18 weeks at number one on Billboard 200.
32 million album worldwide. That's huge. That's huge on any scope. I mean, that's wow.
And 18 weeks at number one out of 52. So that's like a quarter of the year. It was the number one album. Over that,
Now, was Dirty Dancing expected to do well in the box office?
Yes.
And it was expected.
Because of the name actor. They had Jennifer Grey in it, who just came out of the Ferris Bueller stuff. Okay. Patrick Swayze. At that time, Patrick Swayze could have sat there with a camera on him, read the phone book, and it would have been the number one movie for 3 weeks.
Yeah, he was sitting in a jackpot those years, and anything he touched was gold.
Yeah. So they had a good cast, and it's a decent movie. I mean, for that time as a high school kid, it was a good movie. I saw it later on a rainy Saturday. It was on. I saw it when I was older. Felt like a different movie again because you're the adult now.
I still like my favorite two Swayze movies was Point Break and Roadhouse.
See, I like Roadhouse and To Wong Foo.
To Wong Foo.
Best regards, Julie Newmar.
All right, that's good stuff. So that's Dirty Dancing. Best-selling album in Germany is where it really took off.
Yes. Those Germans know their music.
Fair enough. All right, so what we've got for the rest of the show is some musical updates. And we've got a bunch. I mean, I think there's 9 slides here of things that we can discuss in the world of music. Scorpions, to celebrate their 60th anniversary in 2025, Vegas.
Okay, I want to say one thing about that.
Okay.
This is darn near the original Scorpions lineup still. It's not like Kiss, who changed a couple members, or another group who's like, the bass player is still original, the rest are all other guys, but the bass player owns the rights to the name. This is still the Scorpions.
And this isn't 40, 50 years. We're talking 60.
Yes. And they've just had new stuff out, I guess, a couple years ago, too. So
I find that fascinating. Good stuff. And they're in Vegas. So look them up. Get to a show if you get a chance, if anyone's there.
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Now, this, I think you'll have some information on this. But Keel, Ron Keel.
Yes.
This new Keel World. And they're going to release the song Represent. Now you can talk a little more to this. Is that the first single?
Yeah, I believe so. And Beth, we've had her on the show a couple times from Queen of the Reich and from Sugar Buzz. She does some backing vocals on on this album.
Some of the tracks she's featured on. Yes, a personal friend of the show.
And it's one of those things where, with, like we've said before with other bands, modern technology, she recorded here, it went over there. But so she did not get that photo op with Ron Keel. But
Ron Keel.
So Ron Keel I've always kind of appreciated his music. He had that little dip in the country for a while, came back.
I've always been a Ron Keel fan, not a big fan, but a fan nonetheless of his
Right.
work. Always very good.
Kind of like Michael Shankner, just kind of I've liked this stuff, never gotten real excited about it, but respected it when it's on.
Michael Schenker Group, MSG. Yes, great reference there. Now check this out. This is coming up literally in 2 days, Andy.
Yeah.
Seattle Rain, and this is with Sir Psycho. Now Seattle Rain is the new and upcoming band. We've had them on. We've talked to them before, but they're up and coming, very, very good. They do all Seattle 90s grunge. They just call it, instead of Seattle Rain, as in the temperature and weather, it's rain spelled the other way. These guys will be good. Now, Nordic Brew Pub is the location, another hot spot north of the Twin Cities. They do a lot of tribute bands, very friendly to tribute bands up there. This should be a good show in Monticello, Saturday at 7 p.m.
And Sir Psycho is the Red Hot Chili Peppers cover band. So
Yes.
if into the Peppers, as they call them, fans of them call them.
Ricky Nelson Remembered, starring Matthew and Gunnar Nelson. Now, this is coming up not next month, 2 months from now, November 13th, Andy, in Welch, Minnesota. Any thoughts on this?
Yeah. I grew up a fan of Ricky Nelson. My Uncle Howard got me into them, he got me into like Ricky Nelson and that genre of rock and roll there. Matthew Gunnar did some great work on their stuff when they did theirs later on, but Ricky Nelson, very clean, very good. Just the partying got to him. A little side trivia for you.
Okay.
Matthew Gunnar Nelson, sometimes referred to Uncle Mark, who was Mark Harmon, who went to the University of Minnesota and is from St. Elsewhere and NCIS. Mark Harmon, who's married to Pam Dauber from Mork and Mindy.
Yes.
I could go on all day at the 6 Degrees of Separation stuff.
Mark Harmon always, he played Ted Bundy in the TV series on Ted Bundy. Now, Mark Harmon, good actor, very good athlete as well.
Yeah,
so this
I think he played at the U here, played football at the U.
Yes, very good football player. Now, this is live in the event center at Welch, and so this should be pretty good coming up in November. Oh, you know what? Let me go back. Here it is. Here's my question to you, Andy, is this is on a Wednesday, November 13th at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. So is this the audience here that they're getting? Is that the retired folks, the older
That's
crowd?
what I'm going with, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that genre, because that's, no offense, young kids like us aren't going to go see Ricky Nelson, maybe.
Yep. So I can see that. I just wanted to point that out because
That's
it was
the casino there too. So it's that group they're inviting. It's not Halloween. It's not Thanksgiving weekend. Even at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday, it doesn't matter if it's next day's a holiday or not. But you can get that genre in, and let's just, no offense, favorite Auntie Cindy and Coach Mike, but
yes,
they're not going to go out at 8 o'clock at night any night for a concert at a casino.
And here the show is done, and you can go up for dinner. It's a 2 o'clock show. Your night is open. So this is very playing to the demographic. I like it. Mm-hmm. Now we can talk about this guy here coming up at the Paramount in St. Cloud. It's not till January 2025. But tell us a little more, Andy, on the Folsom Prison Experience.
Yes, that's coming up here. Johnny Cash show, very good. We have some big news coming up in a couple weeks on this. We'll be very excited. Johnny Cash fans, pay attention. Keep your eyes on the social media. Some interviews and specials coming up regarding this. Stay tuned, as we say.
This should be good, yes. Now, speaking of Sugar Buzz.
There's Beth.
There we go. Friday. Now, this is tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. in Savage at Neesen's Bar in Savage. Sugar Buzz. This is, once again, this is the all-American band. Everyone's going to be here. All the songs are going to be there. You're going to know the songs. Large turnout, girls, guys, older folks, younger folks. Everyone's going to like this music. It's easy. It's easy to listen to, easy to enjoy the night. There's no demographic here. Everyone likes it.
And I'm not saying this because we know the band and we like the band. I'm not saying this at all. I saw this the first time I saw them. And we've both seen our share of cover bands and local bands. They're not just up there getting the paycheck. They're having a good time. They're having fun. They're enjoying it, which makes you want to enjoy it even more.
It's a good time. It's not a not a tribute band, but it's all the songs you're going to know, all covers of all songs you know, and they do it very good. It's an energy. It's a high energy show.
Yep.
Let's put it that way. And they do a break in between,
Yep.
and come back out and do. But these guys will. This will be a 3-hour deal, is what
Yep.
I'm guessing, right? Okay. Now, what are your thoughts on this? A new tribute to AC/DC called Mad Scientist?
Yeah, so there's another ACDC tribute, which is kind of weird. Is again, lots of ACDC tributes coming out lately, and in this area, in the Twin Cities area, we got like 3 Motley Crue tribute bands. So there's a few. They're all a little different. If you like ACDC, now I haven't seen these guys. We've seen Thunderstruck. We're gonna see them again coming up here. That's one group. I'm kind of curious. I want to see these guys. They're intriguing me.
Yes, same here.
They're guys from other bands, I believe, that we know. So it's kind of like we've said with all these other cover bands, they're in 2 different bands locally. So I think this is fairly new. I'd like to give these guys a listen and a tryout. If you guys are listening, message us. We'd love to have you on the show.
Love to do an interview with these guys. This show here in particular is next month, a month from today, a month from yesterday, actually. It's a 7:30 show at the Pioneer Place. And this should be good. I don't know who the opening act is, but I wanted to get this out there to give a heads up to music fans here locally.
Yeah, look them up.
Now, I do have a couple of comments here. Slayer's got a new hot sauce coming out called Raining Blood. Now, I did purchase the old hot sauce. That was from, what was that called, Andy? From
that was Eddie Ojeda. Or
Eddie Ojeda with Twisted Sister, right?
Yep.
And it was called Twisted Hot Sauce.
And we did a live review on that, which you still see on our Yahoo page.
A good review, a live review on that. A good topping for food. Now, Slayer's kind of doing the same thing with another hot sauce. I like it. Is it too much? I don't know. Is it too much promotion, marketing? I don't know. We both came in as Kiss fans. We know all about Kiss coffins and everything, magnets and keychains and everything that you can imagine with Kiss. Slayer, I got no problem with this. I might even try it.
Yeah, if you're a hot sauce guy, and it's a marketing. Well, it's hot sauce. We play hard rock, heavy metal. That's got to be hot, Yeah, we should buy it. It's
interesting. We're just here to educate, just to get the word out on some of this. This could even be a good Christmas gift for someone who loves heavy metal.
A stocking stuffer, as we say.
It's a nice little stocking stuffer. I like it. The Twisted sauce had, I think, 2 or 3 different flavors, I believe.
Yep.
Different habaneros, peppers, and things. This looks like it's just the one for.
Yeah.
But I would love to have this on some scrambled eggs. I'd certainly give it a shot.
We'll see who gets you in the office Christmas pool. Who's your secret Santa in the office pool?
Well, the last thing I've got is the J.D. Souther, songwriter for Eagles, and Linda Ronstadt dies at age 78. I was not a big fan of either of these, so I didn't know the name when it first came out that he died. But Andy, I'm guessing you know him a little more than I do.
Yeah, he did a lot of the songs for the Eagles, Linda Ronstadt, and really those 2 genres that he wrote for, they were pretty interchangeable. Songs he wrote for the Eagles, Linda Ronstadt could have recorded. It was that same. It's like he wrote for Twisted Sister and Elton John. I mean, these were the same genres he was writing. Good songs, decent songs. It was kind of surprising when you hear this. The Eagles, you assume with the names they had there. What do you mean you had an outside songwriter writing your big hits? It wasn't you guys. This guy helped with a lot of songs. So, yeah, big song. 78, and I'm gonna say only 78 compared to the guys in the Eagles. And if you hear the stories and you believe what they say, surprised they made it this long. Yeah, he was a good artist, a good writer, and he will be missed. Linda Ronstadt. Not saying these 2 owe their career to him, but he did help their careers a lot.
Yeah, what we like to do here is honor on the show, honor these all back, these second tier players. They're not the big names, right? But they're still big in the recording and the music industry. Many probably have not even heard the name of this, but these are very influential people. All right, let's go back. We covered them all. Did I miss any here?
Go to the Ricky Nelson one. I'll go to that one real quick. I saw something the other day.
Here we go.
Working on some stuff coming up. That same location, June of 2025.
Okay.
Weird Al Yankovic, Weirder and Better, or whatever he's calling his new tour. So June of 25, he will be at that same facility. So go there now for this one, learn how to get there and remember it. Weird Al's got a new big tour coming out. I've been doing some research on him. He's been dropping some new interviews. Lots of interesting stuff from Mr. Yankovic. Kind of looking forward to his new tour too.
As always, that's just him always keeping things lively, as we
He's
say.
going all out on this tour. He's hired extra musicians. He's doing the whole costume changes again. I'd almost wouldn't be surprised. This is kind of like, I don't want to say the farewell tour because he'll still stick it around here and there. But this is probably the farewell of the here's everything. I'm opening up the bag of tricks. Here's all the songs. I'm not going to cut down. He's hired 4 extra musicians to go with so they can all do costume changes back and forth. If you're a Weird Al fan, June of 25 up in Welch might be worth the trip.
Okay, it makes sense. And once again, this concludes the September soundtrack. All the Thursday edition shows and music were soundtracks. As we head into October, Andy, and into our anniversary month of the show here, once we kick off season 6 around Thanksgiving time, we'll be doing regular album reviews again, and we'll keep you abreast. With all that.
I would say coming up, we mentioned something special coming up. Go back to our YouTube page, go to our Spotify page. Go back a few months, February, I believe it was, we did the 6 Johnny Cash albums in the American series. Rewatch those. You might need to know that for stuff coming up.
Oh.
Little homework there for you.
Little homework. All right, that's all we got for today. We'll see you all next week. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.